Welcome to Snip and Sip, the podcast where we cut through the noise about plastic surgery while sipping our drink of the day. I'm your host, Dr. Scottsdale, from my real name, Dr. Mata. We're gonna talk about funny, we're gonna talk about trends, we're gonna spill the tea and all the secrets. All right, guys, welcome back to episode 11. I really can't believe it's the double ones or snake eyes.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
11 episodes.
Make a wish.
Why?
11-11.
Who said 11-11? It's only 1-11. Do you not know how to, add?
It feels like 11 at night.
Well, it's almost 9 o'clock. And yes, it is our 11th episode. And it is not the 11th hour on the 11th day. Okay? It's not November. It's not November 11th.
Almost.
Okay. But anyways, welcome back to Snip and Sip. It is our plastic surgery podcast where we talk about all things plastic surgery, whatever's taboo, not taboo. And what's our episode about today, Alondra and Jeanette?
The spooky season and spooky myths that we're busting.
Are you busting or busting?
Busting.
Busting? Well, before I get too long and forget about this is my lovely wife, Nurse Scottsdale, a.k.a. Jeanette. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great.
Is she really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It could be worse.
Could be worse.
And who are you?
I'm Lonnie or Alondra.
Lonnie. I don't know where she comes up with this bullshit.
Oh my god, you say this every time.
Exactly.
Every time.
How do you spell your name?
Loni.
So what is a drink of the day?
Okay, what's her drink of the
night?
Day? Of the night.
It is a pumpkin margarita that I freshly squeezed myself.
Don't lie. She's
From
lying.
scratch.
All right, salud.
Salud.
Salud. I don't even know what that means.
Salutations.
Salud. You don't know what salud means?
Damn, that takes a really long time to get to your mouth, and then it takes a really long time to get back in. So we talked about our drink, we talked about our 11th episode, and since obviously you see the theme behind us, it is Halloween season, and yes, it's not quite Halloween yet, but we are preparing for it, so you guys get to see our lovely spiders and spider webs, and because of the theme, our spooky season, right? And we're busting these myths.
That's why he looks like this episode. We thought he should look very scary and
It's because I take it from you. I literally just look at myself in the mirror and be like,
sorry for the appearance
oh
on
my
his
gosh.
behalf.
I know.
But it's part of the theme.
Sure. And again, don't forget, we'll take sponsorship, guys, as long as it's a good drink. But anyways, what is our first myth?
Our first myth are, do chi-chis explode on planes?
In case you don't know what chi-chis are, that basically means breast.
Breast, but we're talking about implants.
In particular.
Will implants explode?
Well, what do you think, Jay? Do they explode or
No,
not?
I mean, you would see a lot more of that. I've never heard of anything happening. Have you?
So can you go on a plane if you have saline implants as well?
Yes. I've went on many
I
flights.
don't know. I've told
Well, there you go.
guys.
She just gave you an insight that she's been on many flights with saline implants.
Yes, I used to have saline a long time ago.
Really? I didn't
Yeah.
know that. I thought they were always silicone.
No, it was saline. My first set was saline.
She was trying to save money.
No, that was what it was back in
Was
the day.
squishier.
They would recommend saline.
Well,
No, that's bullshit.
So they did.
Bullshit.
What?
Well, I thought for a
You
while
were not my
silicone
surgeon.
was not.
Okay, silicone was taken off the market from 1992 to 2006.
Yeah,
when
but-
did you get first pair of implants?
But still, people were still had a misconception of silicone.
When did you get your saline implants?
I don't remember. I was
Not 2006.
probably like 2000. I don't know, 2010. I don't know.
See, she's making stuff up now, guys.
I
Wow.
don't know, it's been a long time.
You guys have heard me talk about that episode of 1,000 Ways to Die where she had helium boobies and they exploded on the plane?
Okay, helium is a
Helium.
gas.
Well,
Okay.
or something. They
Saline
had
and silicone
it
are
was
solids.
balloons.
Well, saline is actually a liquid, not a solid, but
Well, they were balloon boobies and they exploded on the plane and that's how she died. So.
Well, even if your breast exploded, unless your blood vessels ripped, it's kind of hard for you to die from a ruptured implant.
Well, like if they're like erupting, isn't that a lot of blood loss and you would die from that?
But I don't think they would erupt like really like physically, like maybe internally they might, but I don't think like your skin is gonna become open and
That
just
episode,
explode.
they look like, what is that from Stranger Things, the little Demogorgon?
How? Even with the tongue, Alondra? Are you practicing it later or what? A demigorgon?
What is it called?
You don't even
Something
know.
like that.
So is that a myth or is it not?
Well, you guys are telling me. You guys are the experts here.
I've
I've never had a
thing.
pair of implants in me. Have you?
I have.
Yes.
We don't
Have
know
you?
that. Is that like a hot
Have you?
thing?
Do you have a pair of implants in you?
I wouldn't know.
I know,
It's a
but
HIPAA
nobody-
violation.
Do you have a pair of implants in you?
But nobody goes to like a flight and thinking like, oh my gosh, I hope I don't explode. Like,
No, that's a dumb one.
Okay, guys. Here you have it from a plastic surgeon who is board certified in the United States of America. Implants do not rupture on a plane from going up and down on an airplane. Because if that were true, all the women that ever flew to get them done and get home wouldn't make it. So no, they do not rupture on an airplane. But here's your hot take, okay? This is clickbait. Implants will melt in saunas. Because somebody said it on Instagram or TikTok or YouTube does not make it real. But do you think they melt?
Someone's probably going to clip that and be like, see?
no, they do not melt. I mean, you would have to be in so much heat.
Wasn't your body temperature like
Like,
really hot, like
your-
internally? Or is it cold?
Well, your skin will like burn before.
Why are you
It melts.
laughing?
You're saying, is your body heat internally hot? If your
What
body
is?
heat internally is hot, what is your temperature going to be?
Hot?
Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
when
what's your
it's hot.
temperature?
No, that's what I'm saying. If you get a fever, like they're not going to melt.
Have you gotten a fever since you've had implants?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you gotten a fever since you
Yeah,
had
many
implants?
fevers.
And how high was your fever that you actually checked?
Like 101.
No, like 102, maybe 103.
Okay, so did your implants melt?
I don't know. I haven't gotten an
I
ultrasound.
mean, we would see a lot more, especially with like COVID, right? People getting fevers. I mean, we would see more of that. But no, and I think your skin would actually melt first because
Okay.
it's the first barrier.
And people go in
before-
saunas. all the
People go in
time.
saunas all the time.
Yeah.
How many people walk out and be like, oh my God, I don't feel right. My implants literally melted out of my body. Zero, guys. Okay. Just so you know, if you want to put it up for reference, I made an Instagram post where I took a silicone implant and we put it in what's called an autoclave. That gets the temperature to 237 degrees. Do you know how hot you have to get before your body starts to denature or basically literally melt?
What's the...
Like 140, 150. Like literally, if you put boiling water, your skin will fall off. It will melt.
Yeah.
It denatures. It literally falls apart. Okay? 150 degrees. We put an implant in 237 degrees. And you know what happened to it?
Did it melt?
What happened to it? Do you know?
Probably nothing.
It was sterilized, probably.
That's right. That's the only thing that happened. Is
But it
we
was
killed the
intact.
bacteria, we killed the spores, and the implant was just fine. So when people sit here and give you the clickbait that says your implants will melt in a sauna, they are totally full of shit. Okay? I hate to call it out that way, but yes, that is awesome clickbait, guys. Think about it. For something that tolerates heat better than your body does, you would literally fall apart before something in your body would actually melt. Okay? I know she's been in saunas with me. Not you, but I'm sure you've
Thank
been in
God.
The
saunas.
saunas and hot tubs. And
Well, that's right. You can you afford to go to a sauna? What's the second myth?
So Botox will freeze your face like a zombie.
Well,
that true?
you're the Botox queen here, so
I mean, the purpose of Botox is to kind of freeze certain wrinkles, but it's not going to make you look like a zombie. I mean, can we arch your eyebrows, like making them go up? Yes, we can do all that, but I don't think that's the purpose.
Is it better if you get Botox and you can still move your face a little, or do you want it to completely freeze?
It depends. Everybody's different. Some people want it completely frozen, like their forehead completely frozen. Some people want still movement. I still like to be able to move my.
Is that just more Botox?
Yeah, just reasonable.
Because speaking as someone who's getting old,
So I still like
Any
to move,
preventative.
like have movement, but without the
I
wrinkles.
feel like I'm getting.
Getting or are?
No, I'm getting.
How old are you?
I'm still a spring chicken. I just turned 19 last month. So
Plus.
Your nose
Plus
is
a
literally
few more
starting to grow
years.
right now as
I
you
just
speak.
turned 19, so I don't know what you're talking about. But like in the future, when I get old, like Botox would be a good preventative.
Okay, this is why I will politely disagree. If you overdo anything, it's going to look bad. Plain and simple. Again, what looks bad is a matter of opinion. The best example I have of this is go to any plastic surgery meeting, right? We've been to them, right? And you will see some of the worst plastic surgery you've ever seen. And you're like, why is it at a plastic surgery meeting? You have any ideas, Alondra?
Maybe because they get a lot of it.
Okay, that's one thing. Jay, since you've been there and seen it?
I mean, it looks good to them. They think that they look great.
Preference.
So part of me saying this is most people that go there are plastic surgeons and their significant others. And most plastic surgeons, I would say, and again, I'm speaking in general terms, don't like to overdo anything. But if you're with somebody that's like, I want this, I want this, I want this, and if you want to make them happy, you start doing stuff, right? To make them happy. You might not agree with it, but it's better to do it than to have a fight. And so these people literally walk around thinking like they look amazing and they just look very overdone. And again, some people like that look.
But this is what I've noticed though when we go to those plastic surgery meetings. Like, usually the wives look really great. But if they come in with the girlfriends are like overly done with filler.
Really?
Like, they're younger, but they're like super done up with fillers.
And then they
At
look
least-
older.
Oh, I
like
thought you were
that.
going to say the wives look good and the husbands look bad. 'Cause
Yeah,
they've,
no, no,
they've
no,
had
no,
no,
that too.
they've had no plastic surgery
No,
and they're still
like-
fat, short,
Well,
or
yes,
balding,
I mean,
but
yes.
they come in with good-looking people.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. But sometimes, like, you know, when they're married, they have a wife that is maybe a little bit older, they usually look great. I mean, they're not overly done, but you can tell they've had some stuff done. But when they come in with the girlfriends are always, like, so done up. Like, it's just so much.
Because they're way younger. They're trying to fit in with what?
But yeah.
Selling Sunset, right?
Well,
yeah,
no,
but
have you
it's too
seen like
much.
all the new reality shows where it just like they look so much
Older?
older than what they actually are? Like the
Like you?
Love Island.
Since
no,
you look
I
like
look
30?
19.
And you're 19,
Yes, I'm 19.
but you look 30.
No, maybe right now I do because I'm in work attire. But yeah, they're like all the new reality shows and stuff. They all look way older than what they're supposed to look like. But then you can tell they have a lot
But
of filler. and
sometimes
Botox.
that could also be the camera, too. You know
No,
what I mean?
the
Some
camera
people,
does
like,
not add 15 pounds to your face.
Sometimes it does. Yes, the camera, sometimes people don't have
Yeah,
that
so in
camera
real
face
life,
where...
really, I'm super tiny. That's why I look huge on the camera right now.
Yeah, that's
Okay, it's
exactly.
because it's adding like
Yeah.
20 pounds.
That's exactly what it is, right?
We're actually really, really skinny in real life.
Okay. Anyways, I've had enough of this baloney, money, whatever.
Okay, so what's the next question?
Well, I wasn't done with Botox.
Okay, so
Okay.
what did you
So what I was getting to my point.
So you are due for Botox, by the way.
See this?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm due.
Old.
Yeah.
I'm 45.
Yeah.
But
Damn.
just a little softer.
Just a little softer. But going back to the Frozen look, okay? Frozen is not bad. It's just the lack of animation. If you paralyze all the muscles and you're smiling but you can't tell, or you're unhappy and you can't tell, that's too much. Again, so usually when I do this, and again, I'm 45, I think my forehead actually looks pretty good. Why? Because she takes care of me with Botox and actually Daxify or Jabot or Xeomin or Dysport,
Botox or
any kind of toxin. And again, for me, it's about still having some facial expression, those kinds of things, but not having expression in the places that I don't want to. So some people might say, hey, you look frozen. And maybe to me, frozen looks like I look younger. So I'll take that any day of the week. But Here's the question that I have, okay? Because the thing is, Botox will freeze your face. How about if you injected Botox into the penis? What would happen then? Jay? Would it freeze the penis and would it not work?
No.
Normally I would think so, but I just learned about this today.
Why? Because what did I do?
What is it? Botox to the weenie.
Mm-hmm.
What?
So what does it do? How does it work?
Well, what I had heard was...
What my mama had told me.
What my mama has said was that if you inject Botox into the penis, it helps with things like erectile dysfunction. So it helps you.
That's a fancy word.
Your soldier salute, if need be. I don't know why, but you can explain that. It's still confusing.
It's still confusing to you. How about you, Jake? Do you know why?
You tell me. No, I don't do Botox to the penis.
So on a case-by-case basis, we will do a procedure where we inject botulinum toxin. You're injecting a toxin that basically paralyzes the muscle. The penis is not a muscle, guys. The more you use it, the more it will grow. No, it is not true.
Which muscle are you injecting into?
Okay, there is no muscle in the penis. So why would we inject Botox that only works on muscles, theoretically, even though people use it for pores and a variety of other things, because in those areas, it's working on a muscle. And the way it works on the muscle, it stops the muscle from actually contracting, meaning if you flex, it relaxes. And after that, you try to flex and you can't. So what muscle am I talking about? There's actually muscle in blood vessels. And so these muscles and blood vessels cause the blood vessel to kind of shrink. But with Botox, it keeps the blood vessel open. So the more blood flow you have, the better it does. The bigger it gets, the happier your partner is. But anyways, that's enough about Botox.
Is that what you guys do? Like
us? No. She's never injected me with Botox.
Well, I'm just saying old age, like that's like common in older people, right?
What's common in older people?
Like dysfunction.
Well, do you have dysfunction?
No, I'm a spring chicken.
No, actually, I see plenty of young men that come in for.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Usually, the younger they are, it becomes a psychological aspect. It's usually a blood flow. It's signal here down to here, but if the plumbing's not working, it doesn't matter. But if your plumbing's working, but your signal doesn't get down to there, you have a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And there are things we can do to help, like PRP, exosomes, again, off-label, FDA, not approved. Gainswave, which is extracorporeal shockwave therapy that basically causes your cells to release nitric oxide, a vasodilator, all fancy words for increases blood flow to your junk. The more blood flow, the stronger it gets.
Hormone therapy.
Correct, hormone therapy.
So we got a lot of options.
Yeah.
For the not strong soldier community.
Not strong soldier. Okay. But enough about sexual health. What's our next myth, Jay?
With plastic
surgery leaving you like Frankenstein?
I think it could. I mean, some people do look weird because they've had so much plastic surgery that they look weird. Like just so much.
I agree. I've seen some scars.
You look like you've had too much work done.
No.
She looks weird.
No, sometimes too much is too much. And I've seen a couple of all those ladies that they probably started surgery like really young and they do not look good.
Well, I feel like sometimes like if you see tummy tucks online and stuff, like all the different scars that like, especially like loose skin, it does kind of remind me. Which they look better afterwards, but obviously the scars, like you can tell. I don't know.
I always see the face. When I think about it, I think about the face. And I can think about a couple patients that kind of, you can tell something's wrong with them because they've had so much stuff done.
Yeah, I feel like you can always tell when it's overdone.
I think you guys are talking about two different perspectives, at least from my point of view as a plastic surgeon, right? Frankenstein is a monster that was put together from different body parts and different pieces and scars that you didn't hide. Mm-hmm. Okay? When you talk about like facelifts or this or that, I sit here and I tell people everyone's aesthetic is different. And everyone's like, oh, I want to look like this. Well, we physically can't make your body look a certain way. We can just make your body look the best way based on what your body has. But I don't disagree with what you're saying, that some people can look scary because of what they've had. And I think the hardest part about that is it's not really the patient's fault, it's the doctor's fault. And the reason I say that is because they need to set the expectation before the start of surgery. Obviously, things can go wrong. There could be issues because the body's a miraculous thing, but it's not a fixed structure. It's not like the same, because you have a face doesn't mean like it's the same as someone else's face. Like even though you two are related, you have different facial aesthetics. Mm-hmm. That I couldn't make you look like her, make you look like her, even if I tried. So those are kind of two different. Look like Bella Hadid. Well, you want to look like your sister because she's hot and you're not.
Yeah, I do. She's hot. Yeah. And Bella Hadid.
And Bella Hadid, right? But which one? The one before surgery or after surgery?
After surgery. Okay. After the nose job.
Okay, well, there you go. Like I said, I think when it comes to plastic surgery, you can look scary. You can look like Frankenstein if something's overdone or not done in the right way. The goal is for you to look just like yourself, but a younger, slightly better version of yourself, not somebody totally different that everyone's like, who the hell are you? Because you look so different. Mm-hmm. Wouldn't you agree?
I agree.
That can be like psychologically harmful too, like if you don't recognize yourself. I feel like that'd be a mind fuck.
Yeah, it would be a mind fuck, wouldn't you think?
Yeah. I think eventually you'll get used to the new you.
Yeah, but if it's all at once and you like can't recognize yourself, that'd be so scary. Like in the worst way, you know, like if it's a bad.
I think there's such a thing about like going through depression right after surgery too.
It happens to everybody after surgery because again, when it comes to plastic surgery, it's elective. And you're like, damn, I chose to do this. Nobody made me get on the table and have surgery.
Mm-hmm. Because you can't do a lot of stuff like for recovery. You don't look like yourself. Obviously, there's the swelling part, the bruising. So you don't look like yourself no matter what. And sometimes you forget that you're going to look better in a few weeks. But during that time, it's like you can't do much. You can't like be out and about. You can't lift anything. Mm-hmm. And then you're just swollen and you look puffy and you just don't look great. And you don't feel good either, so...
She's speaking from personal experience. How about your experience with plastic surgery and recovery?
I was in bed and then you guys made me go pick up the kids immediately. So I was fine. So I couldn't get up from bed because it just felt really sore and like tight. That was it.
From getting your skin stretched?
Yeah. Well, no, I don't...
Isn't that what happens with sex? Isn't your skin stretched and you get up and go do whatever you got to do?
I wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know?
I wouldn't know.
Because you're a virgin.
I'm a virgin, so I don't know about all that. But going off the topic of like your face changing and everything, do you guys think it's true?
No.
What?
Shut up. When people say that like serial killers to avoid jail and stuff, like they'll have a lot of plastic surgery to change up their face and everything and be unrecognizable.
Just because you saw Nip Tuck and you've seen maybe those episodes where yes, you can alter your face pretty dramatically to where facial recognition will recognize you. Yeah. But that is pretty extensive. And I guess you could probably do it. I would say it is totally doable from that perspective. But I don't know many surgeons that would actually undertake that to make somebody look like somebody they're not.
Well, if you're getting paid millions and millions, like
serial killers? Are you talking about that, or are you talking like El Chapo and like?
Or yeah, like El Chapo, for example. Well, he is a serial killer, basically. But like anyone to evade, you know,
the law,
or even like if you're like super famous and you're trying to like
stay on the DL,
like you want to like fake your death. Yeah, because I'm very famous these days.
You're trying to hide from your stalkers.
I don't have any stalkers, but
okay, I think they're texting you right now.
If any stalkers want to sponsor my Scottsdale skinny surgery, let me know.
Okay.
But I don't know. I feel like, I know it's like a conspiracy theory that people do that, but I think it's real. Like, why wouldn't you? You know, if like the law enforcement is looking for a certain image of you, You know what I'm
but
saying?
it's not even the fact that you could change your appearance. You still have DNA. That
You
if
have
they have your
fingerprints.
DNA and fingerprints, and yes, you can change your fingerprints,
Mm-hmm.
but your DNA is your DNA. You cannot change that. So all they need to do is literally take a blood sample if they have one
Yeah,
of
but
you,
how
or
would
you.
they find you if you don't look like
Because
yourself?
you're probably still going to come back to what you know, to your family.
And you have money, you have resources, you have acquaintances.
Yeah,
and
but
they're
they
like,
bury their money.
really in the dirt.
Yeah, I was watching Narcos, and apparently they were making so much money at some point that they had to bury it because they couldn't put it in banks or anywhere. Like, it was just an insane amount of money
Must be a good problem to have,
Yeah,
right?
I mean,
that they had to like just find random holes and just know where it was and put.
Haven't you seen the Ozarks? You just put it in the house, put it in the
oh,
walls.
the walls.
Well,
Then
what
the house
happens
burns
if your
down.
house burns? Yeah.
Well, then
or
you
like
lose all the
people who
money.
put it in mattresses.
Then you get more money. You just
Oh.
make it when you can make that kind of money.
Yeah.
I guess so. Okay. So, what do you think would be the scariest part about plastic surgery?
Fuck, if I got botched and you had to
Okay.
live with it.
What about you? What would be the scariest thing?
Yeah, doing something that you can
Undo?
undo. Yeah, something that was really bad and you just can't undo.
Like, oh, like skin dying and you can't undo that. Like, that is scary.
It can happen. But I would say, from my perspective, one of the scariest things that people hear or see is, oh my God, what happens if I wake up during the middle of surgery?
Yeah, I hear that one too.
What do you know about that, Jay? How about you, Alondra?
I guess it also depends on what kind of anesthesia you're having, right? Because if you have general, you can wake up, but you can't move, you can't do anything. So I think that might be the scariest. If you do a different kind of anesthesia, you move, they give you more because they see it right away because you're moving, you're not paralyzed, right? And more than likely, if you wake up, you're not going to remember because hopefully they gave you
Yeah.
enough medication.
I feel like the fear with that is people think like, oh, you're cutting into my body. It's going to be extremely painful, but you're numb. So you wouldn't actually, like, now I know that, but like, I feel like before it'd be like, that's scary if you're cutting into me and I'm waking up during it, you know?
You know, you both have had surgery where you've been asleep and awake at the same time. You know that, right? You know that. Do you know that?
What do you mean asleep and awake?
It's called deep sedation. You
Yeah.
are still breathing on your own. You are not paralyzed. You could theoretically remember everything, but you're in such a la-la state that
don't.
you just close your eyes, you open your eyes, surgery's done, but you're like, God, I could have sworn I was hearing people talk or this or that. And that's the state in which we do surgery in. And as Jeanette was stating and saying, is if you are moving and you're uncomfortable, we can give you more medicine. Versus under general, it's called locked-in syndrome. That basically means they have paralyzed your body. You're still technically awake. If your eyes are open, you can see because they haven't given your brain something to basically calm down or shut down. So even though you might be strapped, you can't move, but you might be feeling pain because when they do general anesthesia, it's the gas that helps your brain relax. But technically, you could still feel stuff depending on the medications that they give you or not give you.
Depending on the anesthesia too, because
Correct.
like having a C-section, right? You're completely awake, and they're literally cutting and taking a baby out of you, and you're
Insane.
awake.
That's
Right.
And again, the way that works is that they paralyze your spinal cord. They literally numb your spinal cord. And once you numb the spinal cord, all the sensation and all the muscle movement is gone. So they can literally cut you open like wide awake, as you were saying,
And it's the weirdest thing
because you're awake. You can literally
You
almost
know.
see it.
That's so scary.
And it's
you're
almost
just
like-
being open.
claustrophobic because you can't do anything. You're like, oh my gosh, and you feel all like the pressure, but there's no pain.
Do you guys think the first surgeons were like secretly serial killers or like psychopaths? Because who wants to open up a body and like look
They were
into them?
morticians. They took care of dead bodies and they had to cut them open.
No, but like surgeons who like live bodies.
No, I think the study of medicine was something that has kind of grown and evolved. And, you know, the craziest part of why people died early in the medicine years was doctors. Because they didn't know that there were germs, so they would cut on somebody sick to try and save them. There was no washing of the hands, and they went to the next person with dirty hands. And then they're like, gosh, these people died. Until somebody said, maybe we're the cause. And that's where these giants in medicine, they're like, we're the problem. And then they realized, like, hey, if we wash our hands, these people don't get sick. Or the people that are getting sick are here and here, but not over here. And again, just insights. And that's how the field of medicine evolved. The first surgeons were actually barbers because they were good with a knife.
Dang.
So, I mean, medicine has evolved a long way.
Yeah, but I just think, like, the first person to want to even look inside of a body, like, which I get the curiosity, but
Well, think about it.
But you have to study it. I mean, you have to know what's in there to study.
I don't want to look at it.
Well, that's why you're not a doctor.
I know. That's why I'm like, I don't want to see it.
You just want to play with it.
No. I just like learn about it, yeah, because it's interesting. But physically seeing.
There you go, guys. She just wants to play with it.
Well, no, because I mean, you also use like dead bodies to like cut open and see what, you know.
Yeah, but cadavers are like, they're not, like, you're never going to talk to them again.
Why? You talk to them as you're cutting on them.
Yeah.
Well, anyways. What's another thing related to plastic surgery myths? At least from my perspective, this is the number one question or concern that I get.
Do all plastic surgery look fake?
I think it could be, I like seeing results that look natural and like they could be part of like a woman's body or obviously men too. But there's times where you really cannot tell because it was just, it's to taste, right? Everything's subjective. Like some people want it to look fake or bigger or like exaggerated. But there's some people who just want it to look like if it's part of their body. And so I don't think it all looks fake.
Yeah, I don't think everything looks fake.
What looks fake to you, Jay?
Just the overly done, you know, whether it's the big boobs, big butts, the exaggerated like hips. I think that looks really fake.
How do you guys feel about like influencers and celebrities who get all these surgeries, but they get them done like to look more natural and they lie to people saying that, oh no, this is just, you know, exercise and whatever. But like they're influencing people and, you know, like what are your guys' thoughts?
I think that's the world we live in now. I laugh because I've had patients who've come to see me who had surgery to look like they work out and they look good and their butt looks good and the fat is gone and they're making workout videos saying, hey, come subscribe to my workout channel or workout thing and like look at me and I'm getting sponsorships for this or that and because I work out all the time.
I recently saw a patient that said something about like discipline and whatever on the story and I was like, oh, a lot of discipline.
I mean, some do work out like after surgery and they are super disciplined because they don't want to go back to their
But they'll
bodies.
never report to their public, oh, by the way, I had this huge help to get to the point that I'm at today.
Yeah, well, I just think it's about
Don't you tell everybody that
transparency.
you work out every day, right, Jay? Because you go with me.
I don't tell anybody. I'm like, I'm always honest. Like, I don't work out. Sometimes it looks like I work out.
How does it look that you work out?
Well, sometimes if I'm wearing like a crop top or something, it looks like I have abs.
A little tennis skirt.
So people think that I work out, but I don't. I don't ever go to the gym. I mentally feel like or think about it, like I want to go, but I don't physically go.
Yeah, you're burning the calories thinking about it.
I wake up every morning, I was like, oh, maybe today, but I just...
Go hop on the tonal.
Yeah. I have a tonal. That was my first step, getting a tonal.
That I've paid for a monthly subscription now for 2 years that she's used twice, right?
One a year.
But it looks good. In the bedroom.
Good little decoration.
Okay.
But eventually I will start. I don't know when.
Encourage your guys, please, because I've been unsuccessful.
No, but the reason I brought it up is because I saw a clip of another popular podcast where they were talking about in California, there's these plastic surgeons where they go and it's part of like the influencer package and they tell you how you can hide your results and make it look like it's part of your natural Like you grew it. So like you're supposed to hide your backside for a few months if you got a BBL and like slowly start incorporating videos to go to the gym, you know? Like that's a video.
Make it believable.
Make it believable, but like the actual plastic surgery centers will give you like a packet telling you how to do it. But
How to grow up?
no,
mean
like
it's-
how to fake it on the internet. That it's like
It's like, why would you want to fake it? I mean, I get it that you don't want to, like, oh, yeah, I got this done. But, like, I think being honest, too. Like, yes, I got this done. This is, you know.
just feel like the world we live in, everyone has some at some
Do
point.
you tell everybody everything you've had?
No, but if they ask, I'll be honest.
Really?
Yeah.
You just said you're 19.
Yeah, exactly. I'm super honest. So
And she doesn't have a man.
She
so
doesn't.
no, but like if anyone has ever asked, like I am honest. I don't like what would I gain from saying no? These are like naturally my boobs. They're not. What
They
is that
are.
gonna-
Can you touch them?
No, they're off limits only. You know, to my future husband. But
There you go, guys. If you touch them, you're going to be her future husband. She just said it here on the podcast. You've heard it first
good
here.
thing no one has touched them. And
I put them in. Ugh. It's so gross.
my sister was there the whole time.
But anyways, so I don't know. It's just people that lie. I feel like they're lying to, especially our younger generation. So they're expecting to look like that without surgery.
Naturally, yeah.
So I feel like it's putting so much emphasis on that. On like, oh my gosh, I have to look so good.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I think that's stressful for
No,
them.
I know like kids nowadays are looking older because they're starting to wear makeup and like they're more on their phones and like, you know, there's just so much emphasis on
Yeah, and they
how
want to
people
look like, you know, somebody that
They're
looks
older.
good, and they feel like, oh my gosh, I don't look like that. Well, no, because they've had surgery, they've done a lot of stuff.
Well, even for me growing up with, because obviously social media wasn't a thing till like later on in life, but it still affects me, you know? Like I think I started in high school by the time, because Facebook started in like junior high. But Instagram specifically, I think, like takes a toll because you just see people that you want to look like and stuff. And if they're lying, saying, oh, I look like this naturally, that doesn't make you feel good. It's not their fault.
But
That
sure
they
it
look
is.
that good. But
Well, they contribute to...
But I think Photoshop too has a big role
yeah,
in that.
Facetune, Photoshop, like just unrealistic expectations.
But also understand now with technology and the deep fakes that literally look so real that it's hard to believe that they're fake. The world is coming to that, and it's not even coming to that. It's already here.
Like the AI stuff too is crazy.
It is. And the reality is this is when it's going to be the most important time of our lives to be as honest with the world as we can be. And if you want something, fuck it, get it because you want it. Not because, oh, I need to get this to look a certain way. It's because you want to. And don't worry about what anyone else thinks. And I would say, honestly, when it comes to plastic surgery, if it were totally free, oh, you should watch the movie The Uglies.
I have. It was cringy.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I mean, they kind of overtook what the purpose of it was to be the best version of yourself that you want to be, not that the world thinks you should be.
Wait, okay, so speaking of like the AI stuff and everything, have you guys seen the Elon Musk robots, like the Tesla robots? That
I mean,
like,
I've heard of it.
they're basically like iRobot. If you guys have seen the movie with Will Smith.
I need one of those. Maybe they can start cleaning.
Yeah,
the
and
house.
all the memes are like me telling my robot that they need to wash like all the dishes and stuff. I'll send you guys the memes. It's really funny.
So does that mean we can replace you now?
Yeah, basically. So
If we can drive and pick up the kids, I think I'm interested.
yeah, but then they're gonna take over the world
Why?
because that's what happened in iRobot.
And the movies are
Yeah.
real.
It happens. Family Guy, or no, what is it?
Family
The Simpsons. The Simpsons. They're gonna predict that watch, and then it's gonna happen.
Okay. Because actually, The Simpsons have predicted like literally almost everything that's happened to the world at this point.
It's kind of scary though.
I know.
And again, they've done it like, what, 5, 10, 15 years before it actually happens. And But think about the guy who created it. I think his name is Matt. How does he come up with these ideas that literally come true? It's like he's almost had like a crystal ball into the future, right?
It's crazy.
We just went to Universal Studios. Gotta love the Simpsons.
Mm-hmm.
No, yeah. No, but like that's a scary thought too. Like if we start relying on robots and stuff and then they get a mind of their own, they could probably, I don't know.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think about pumpkins? You guys like these pumpkins?
That's segue.
Well,
They're fine.
Okay. So do you think if you had too much fillers, you'd look like a pumpkin face?
Yeah, you certainly can look super puffy.
Mm-hmm.
So would you look like a pumpkin?
Yeah, too much filler scares me.
Even though you want more filler?
Yes. But like looking at...
It scares you to the point where, I want more filler.
Yeah, no, like face filler. Like especially like cheek filler when it's like so out here. It looks intense, I feel like.
Well...
Yeah. No, I agree. Sometimes too much is too much. Especially I see it a lot in under eye filler. When it's like a lot, it just becomes really puffy.
Oh, yeah.
And you can spot it right away.
Yeah, I've recently seen like pictures of Kylie Jenner out. Like
Or Jennifer Aniston.
Or Jennifer Aniston, yeah. But like outside of Instagram, like more... paparazzi
real.
Photos, yeah, real, where you can see like if she turns to the side, you see like where the filler's like migrating, right? Or where it just looks
Puffy.
Yeah.
And there was that big thing where a doctor did an MRI on a patient who had X number of syringes and it had been years. And there was still filler in the person's face that was literally all over her face. And everyone was like, holy moly.
Mm-hmm. I think...
Filler just doesn't last 6 months or 12 months. It can...
It depends on the
they're
person,
like
though.
decades.
I mean, there's people that metabolize it super quicker than others. So I can see why some people... I mean, it stays there longer than it should be.
But again, it's always about taste, guys. Understand that everything related to aesthetics is about your taste and the person who is treating you. Any good expert injector, any good surgeon should balance your needs with your goals and not over or underdo it, but try to treat you to the best of their ability to get you a result that's still within balance. Again, some people like a puffy look, other people don't. But understand that aesthetics vary. Wouldn't you agree?
I agree. And I think as an injector too, I know how to say no to patients. When I feel like if they've had too much and I'm just going to make it worse, I'd rather not do it. I mean, they'll probably go somewhere else and somebody's going to do it, but I'd just rather not put my name on there and make them look puffy.
Yep, but again, she has the luxury of having somebody who makes money versus most injectors still have to make a living. And I think it's a fine line. I totally agree with you. Like, I'll sit here and I'll tell somebody no if I can't do something that's going to make them better. But at the end of the day, it's a choice, right? If you want to look like Alondra and have that kind of look, that's her aesthetic.
What does that kind of look mean?
I don't know.
Bomb?
No, some people
Great.
Like it bombed? Like really
Great.
bad?
Well, it's your work.
I'm not talking about your face.
And again, some people do want to look very cartoonish, like super overdone, and that's
like Barbies.
And that's what they like.
I'm a Barbie girl in the Barbie world.
What's that one sound that I made you? Hips, lips, something like snip like a Barbie. That song.
Hip snips.
Yeah, we'll play it. I'm just kidding. Get copyrighted.
But yes, you can look like a pumpkin if you overdo it. So pick your injector and your surgeon wisely. And remember, if you have fat transfer to your face and you gain weight, you will actually look like a pumpkin. So understand that.
But also, fat transfer can make you look like a pumpkin.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, if you have
just...
too much and you gain weight, it's going to be horrible.
Can you get a fat transfer to your face?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Where?
Anywhere.
And the worst thing is that you can't dissolve it like certain fillers. You can go back and dissolve most of it, but the fat.
So if you put if you get a BBL and you put fat in your butt, if you gain weight, you'll gain more fat there. So if you gain weight, like in your cheeks, you'll gain more.
Yes, your face can grow.
Like puffy.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So
you could put it anywhere in your face?
Anywhere.
Like your lips?
Mm-hmm. I just did one not that long ago.
Not my favorite look, but yes.
Why?
I don't know.
Is it just too much?
Again, it's a volumizer.
Yeah, I don't feel
It's not for
like-
finesse.
Yeah, it's not for finesse. It's just...
But you can make it finesse depending on how you process it, guys. So don't overread into that. Usually fat is a volumizer, but if you get to the SVF, stromal fraction, you are getting it to the components of its mesenchymal stem cells.
English,
So it's
please.
fancy words for basically it helps to rejuvenate your face without volumizing. It's just a different way of processing it. So, but anyways, the last topic of conversation is post-op recovery. It can be a nightmare, not a nightmare before Christmas, but a nightmare if it's not done properly. You both have had surgery. So talk about your post-operative recoveries. You've had more than one surgery. You've had maybe one. So talk about your recovery process.
Me first.
Sure.
I mean, it can be painful. So, I mean, if people are
Is it a painful or a pain in the ass?
It's kind of both because, again, you're limited on doing your stuff. And if you're always busy and you can't, and you're like restrictive, you can't really do anything. I think it's a pain in the ass because you can't do anything. Mm-hmm. You can't drive, especially if you're taking pain medication. If you're busy with your kids, you can't do certain things. And it's like you want to do them, but you can't. Wow. You're like limited. So I think for me, it was a pain in the ass.
For me, the pain in the ass part is you can't do it for 6 weeks. And I literally tell all my patients, you got to wait 6 weeks to let things heal. Can you sit here and do stuff and be a bump on a pickle? Sure. But dynamically,
a bump on a pickle.
Yeah, it doesn't move. It just stays there.
Like a starfish?
Yep, like a dead fish. You just lay there and whatever, But I think, the important part of that is really trusting what your surgeon's telling you because they have a way of handling things that hopefully works best in their hands. I've seen people at 1 month and they're like, hey, I look great. And then the next day they call me and they're like, hey, something happened. And now they have a collection of blood or a hematoma. And they're literally 1 month out, which for all intents and purposes, everyone says, oh, it's fine to do stuff. And it happens. And I've literally seen it. And so I always tell people err on the side of caution because you're giving up 6 weeks for the rest of your life, not to go through a recovery or another surgery or another cost that you can avoid if you are careful.
And I think complications too. I mean, we can't say that there's no complications because with any surgery, there's always a risk of complication. I think if anybody that has, it can be a nightmare, till you get it fixed or till you, kind of past that complication stage.
How about your recovery?
Well, mine, like I mentioned earlier, I was made to pick up children immediately after in my state of soreness. But no, it was fine. It was
like literally on your way home, we said, hey, drive yourself home, go pick up our kids.
We'll never make you if you're taking pain medication.
No, not the pain meds.
Yeah, no.
No, I think it was like a day or two after though. I was able to drive. It was fine. Nothing bad.
I mean, it was just boobs. I mean, it wasn't nothing.
Yeah, it wasn't anything crazy. But it was still like it's a lift. So it was still like, more than just a boob job.
I mean, to me, I see it like there's nothing.
Yeah, I know. You're all Frankenstein over there or what?
She's used to it.
No, to me, it's just like, that's not a big deal.
But to regular people.
If you're not used to the pain and, yeah.
She's had babies. She's used to it. She's had C-sections. She's had her stomach and muscles ripped apart literally in front of me. And I'm like, holy shit, that's way worse than anything I do for most patients.
Mm-hmm. She's a bad bee.
She's always been a bad bee.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you guys think our word of the day should be today?
You mentioned it earlier.
Well, what's our word of the day?
I mentioned it earlier.
He did.
Oh, what is it?
You don't know?
What is it? You're the word of the day, dude.
All right. So word of the day, guys, is actually a plastic surgery words that get used here and there. And the word of the day for a free filler with the one and only Nurse Scottsdale is a witch's chin. It's actually a condition that exists in plastic surgery. And since we're going into the spooky season, why not call it a witch's chin? But anyways, that's it for episode number 11.
11/11, guys.
It's not 11/11.
Make
okay?
a wish.
No, there are no wishes here. But yes, thank you so much for watching. And again, the word of the day is a witch's chin. Obviously, DM us, snap us.
DM us at Snip and Sip.
Snip and Sip podcast. Okay. And the first one to send us that DM with the word of the day is going to get a free injectable with the one and only Nurse Scottsdale. So stay tuned and we'll see you for our next episode, number 12.
Cheers.
Salud. I hope you had as much fun listening as we did recording. Don't forget to follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all podcast sites for new episodes, as well as Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Stay snatched, stay hydrated, and until next time, cheers.